if we want to provide a particular width and height property to this individual image source right over here, then it is also possible. In that particular case, all we need to do, class float right, along with this individual class, we need to mention the width of this particular image. For say we are using this width 1/3, or you may make usage of something else right over here, but we are making usage of this width class here, and you may put some definite height classes with some definite attributes to it. Like this height is 64, it means it is practically about to use height of 16 rem into our project. But if you wish to make it a little bit of lower, then all you can do, you can make usage of this H56 class right over here, which is actually consuming 12 rem height property into our project. Now if we press Ctrl S and get back to our project and reload, we can see that this will be the result practically. This is having a definite height here, and it is having a definite width of 1/3 of this whole container class right over here. But if you want to make something less here, then you may make additional changes right over here. Like instead of 1/3, if we use 1/4, and if we use a lower bit of height property here, let's get back to the height, those being defined right over here. So there it goes, sizing. If we click on this width, we can see that all those classes was used previously into our project. So this is the width which is being defined right over here. We may make usage any one of these classes, those being defined here. For say we are using this width of 2/3 or 2/6 option, so or this 4/5 option or this 1/5 option. So all we can do here, we can make usage of this individual class of width 1/5. There it goes. And instead of this height property here, we may get back to this sizing, and if we have a look of these individual classes, so here it goes, this is the sizing property right over here. Now if we click on this height attribute, we can see that this is the classes, these are the classes those been used right over here. So instead of H56, if we make usage of this H48, press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, you can see that this will be the result. We are practically using 20% of this total container. There it goes. We have mentioned this height, we have mentioned this width here as 1/5. That means it is using practically 20% of this container, and on the other hand it is using a certain class of H48, which means it is practically using 10 rem of that individual container class right over here. So all of them are now right into the position, and we have mentioned, we have seized the floating of those individual elements to float on the either side, and that is why we have made usage of this individual class of ClearFix, and this will be the result right over here. So that is how we can practically make usage of those individual float properties. All we need to do, we need to mention the container that we are using here, py3. There it goes, reload. There it goes. Let's have a change of it. This is the BG Orange 300, MX Auto MY4, PX3, PY3. Everything has been defined right over here. Then we had mentioned this image source and put some float right property into it. We have mentioned about this width, we have mentioned about this height, and we have mentioned the image source properly right over here. Then we have put another element here, which is a paragraph element, and we mentioned the ClearFix option in to stop or to prevent the floating of those elements into either side of these individual elements. So this is the thing that can be defined right over here. First of all, now get back to your project and press F12 Now click on this individual paragraph element, or if you click on this individual image class, we can see that the width is 20%. There it goes. The width is here 20%. The height is here 12 rem, as we mentioned, as we had made usage of this class here, which is 48. Then it says about this float right condition. All about those image is been defined right over here. So we can see that we have used each of those properties, those been defined right over here, and all of them are properly working. This is the container px3, py3, mxauto, my4. Each and every classes are into play and they are proper in their position. So this is what we need to know from this float property tutorial. In the next case, we will be learning about object fitting into our element.